Disclaimer: fair use, education purpose use only. All rights, image, and music clip belong to their respective owner, and we do not claim ownership. Let's get it, gang. Hi, y'all. This is some real news when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein file linking to Donald Trump. Now, this how I'm finna report this news. The Jeffrey Epstein file is finna explain everything that was going on with Hollywood, the music game, the actors, the U.S. senators, the governments, the judges, the police officer, all these people in high places, them the elites, right? So when you look at the pattern in the 90s, going on from 1990, start from 1990, because that's when they're going to have to establish this New World Order thing with the movies production, with the music game, with all of this propaganda news. Think about all of this was going on in the 90s, right? So when Epstein had salt, guess who he had salt on? Look at the higher elites that was controlling the music game at the time. That been in the game. Like Clyde Davis. This go all the way back before studios. When they had the radio and all this, you know, when the radio was invented, you know what I'm saying? They used to, it was just used for weather reports until, you know what I'm saying, when the studio like, let's put some music, you know what I'm saying, on, and people started listening to music, they made them music studio. So that's when studio finna start popping out, you know, like with the rock and roll, with the jazz music, you know, how they were raised up, you know, all those songs that we heard. So this when Jeffrey Epstein will be having salt on the elites, and when it come to the stars, right, like people from the ghetto, poor people, because that's where the elites finna get all their talent from. Think about when Hollywood first invented, although actors was really like family members just to pop Hollywood off. Everybody got paid good, you know what I'm saying, all this, and popped it all, and they like, man, look, everybody came from the hood that's actors and child stars in Hollywood. Look, for a prime example, all because of the Epstein file. You can go back to Tupac old videos. Like this one right here. Check this out. Listen to this video. All because of Donald Trump.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Successful, you want to be like Trump? Gimme, push, step, crush. That's how it all is, and it's like nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like instead of us just being like slavery's bad, slavery's bad.
Y'all heard he mentioning Trump. Now think about when you saw Donald Trump on TV. Now this interview was in the 90s. Check this out. You seen Donald Trump at all the Mike Tyson fights, all the fights at Mike Tyson big boxing matches. That's when I started seeing Donald Trump on TV and stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I first heard of Donald Trump, the news tried to make it like he's a racist, and you know, but actually he just a businessman. You know what I'm saying? He a businessman, but his daddy is a racist, you know what I'm saying? Because he the one that was building projects around New York, and he didn't want the black people moving into his buildings. You see what I'm saying? So now look, check this out. Go back to this.
Gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, you want to be successful. This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, push, step, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like, instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's there, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, I mean, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we're past that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, you know, everybody need a little help on their way to being, you know, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something and to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we
say to people that say, well, they earned it. Now you go out and you're earning it.
If they earned it, then I think that's good, and I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or $1. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movies about, I mean, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never going to be rich, and I'm never, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary, and it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings, you know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or, look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got 40 billion.
Now, that was real facts. Cause check this out, he in the studio, he the hottest rapper in the game, and he ain't even a millionaire cause he getting robbed out the money. You see what I'm saying? He learning the game as he telling everybody like, man, look at all these billionaires, they winning all these awards. If you go back to the 90s, it'll make the Jeffrey Epstein files make more and more sense. Everybody want to know who the elites. The same people that he's sitting in the studio with. And this is MTV. Watch this. That's how powerful Tupac was. If you the hottest rapper, you know what I'm saying? Hottest rapper, right? And your mind woke like this, you learning as you go, you know what I'm saying? Then you really seeing this with your own eye. Like, I'm in the rap game and I see some fishy shit, all these millionaires, you know, and just instead of calling them millionaires, let's call them elites. if we change the name from millionaire to elites, every time when he mentioned higher up people, cause look who he talking about. He ain't just really talking about no other rappers right now. Bruh is strictly on politics. Like how we on politics now. Everything what this man said in the interview finna predict the Donald Trump. Look at Donald Trump. He said, how you people can sleep, you building. Can you just forget the polo club? You know the polo club is the golf course. They love the golf course, right? Can you just forget about that for a minute? Instead of building all this, can you just build apartment buildings for the poor? You got the money, build it for the poor. You got mansions with 52 rooms and you got $40 billion. Can you just keep it like it's a simple house? You got money. Why do you need all these rooms and you can go to sleep at night knowing somebody ain't got a bed to sleep in? But you say you from the black people, right? I challenge any person that the next person that run for president, or you could challenge Donald Trump, be like, hey, Donald Trump, you a billionaire, right? All right, check this out. We got our people on the street right here. If you could clean the streets up, if you build an apartment complex just for homeless people to get them out the streets. And you give them side jobs, you know, it could be a program that you get everybody side job, like, cause you know, homeless people got skills too. Shit, they know how to landscape, plumbing, you know what I'm saying? Construction work, you know what I'm saying? Machine operators, you know what I'm talking about? Some people just be down on their luck. Challenge that move. You see what I'm saying? Start from the homeless first. Clean the homeless up and then worry about the rest of the queeks out here with these little babies in wedlock, right? You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying, look at the elites that had control of the 90s. In the 90s, a lot of us were young in the 90s. Our mind wasn't set the way it will be set now. See what I'm saying? Half of us were kids then. Innocent kids. So basically what I'm saying, if you tired of Jeffrey Epstein file, don't look at the file like everybody else looking at the file like, oh, you saying there's no client list no more? Don't get in tune with all that propaganda they putting out there. Because if you really want to know what's going on with the Epstein file, they saying they have been doing this since the 90s. In the 90s. Look who had control of the music game in the 90s. Look at everybody that were actors. Watch this. Matter of fact, just listen to this shit.
$1 million, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole 9. That's not fair to me. everybody in this rap world, all they talking about is money. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm the richest nigga in the game, because Fresh Prince, all these, a lot of niggas with money, but I'm...
Look, y'all, I found the video. I had to go to that video. Now, look. Now, y'all see what Tupac mindset was? You see what Tupac mindset was about Donald Trump, the higher ups, the elites running the music game, the laws, the U.S. senators, all the way to the presidents, the mob, them, and all of this stuff. And he talking like this in 92. In 92. So Tupac was telling you about all of this in 92. Listen to what he said in this video at the end of this so we can just hear this.
We taught that. My older niggas, we taught that. That the only thing we good for is our sexuality. Now I use that to make money, but I enforce my strength, my mind strength. That's what's more important to me now. The niggas see that this is not no accident. I plotted every single step from this to this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything's plotted.
It's still that the next shit is called Illuminati, because that's really what the Illuminati is on.
That's why I put the K to it. Because I wanted, the niggas is telling me about this Illuminati shit while I'm in jail, right? Like, dollars.
Right.
That's another way to keep your self-esteem low. That's another way to keep you unconfident.
Right.
And I'm putting the K because I'm killing that Illuminati shit. Trust me, if these motherfuckers wanted to kill you, why the fuck they gonna tell Farrakhan? Why they gonna tell the Nation of Islam? Why they gonna...
Because they the elites. All people that he named is leads and was in some type of assassination. So if you look at Tupac, man, like damn, if they finna kill me, why would they tell the Pope? Why would they tell Louis Farrakhan? And he learned this in jail. Guess who put him on? Somebody in jail put him on some real knowledge about the Illuminati. They gave him enough information about the Illuminati, and he dead on the... He talked. My mic working. Why my mic keep moving? God damn, my mic was on. Damn. Man, I swear I ain't muting this motherfucker. But goddamn, this motherfucker mute. It ain't me doing it. So now look. So check this out. When Tupac got, everybody know when Tupac got locked up of the sexual assault, right? Check this out. Y'all remember the rape that he got convicted of? Guess who all set it up? Snoop Dogg. You see how Snoop Dogg, P. Diddy, the elite set that up. So they could convict him, put him in jail, because if you think how the elite do, oh, he a rapist, throw his ass away and lock away the key. But his music was so powerful and his mind was so influenced, everybody like, wait a minute, let's dig into this shit a little bit, because the news were pressing this man as a rapist, bro. Look. The news were pressing this shit in the narrative. You were back in those days. You remember when you were coming up and listening to the news, what they were saying about Tupac? They tried to crush that man image because they like, nah, we got to stop fucking with Tupac. You know what I'm saying? We can't invite that man to no more party because this man a thinking man. This man observing. This man looking around and shit. You know what I'm saying? So look.
Tell this nigga in jail about the plan. How did he know?
Right.
How did it leak to him? Who told him? Who told him? The Pope? Who? Because they like the Pope and the money. Oh, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. You so thinking about the money, you not getting the motherfucking money. Get the money, nigga. I don't give a fuck who face on there. You know what I thought when I was in jail?
That's why he said, forget who the face on the money. And guess what face is on the money? Freemasonry. Illuminati. Did you catch that? That's just another way of saying Freemason without saying it. Just look at your dollar bill. Ain't this a Mason on there? You see what I'm saying? This was finna go crazy. Cause all the interviews that Tupac did talking about the Illuminati, we could fill in the gaps. We know who the Illuminati is. We done sit up here and grow older and watch all the propaganda on the news had us looking at, oh, we'll never find out who killed Tupac. You got MTVs and documentaries doing, you know, it's a conspiracy theory about Tupac. Who actually killed him. It's just such a cover up. The LA police department that did a terrible job when it come to the investigation. I remember when if you were living in that era, bruh, and listen to Tupac, that's when the war broke out between the East and the West. But it really wasn't no war. It was a hoax the whole time. It was just beef with P. Diddy and Suge. Tupac wanted to get away from P. Diddy, cause that's where he learned all that Illuminati shit. Death Row, Suge Light brought him in, be like, come to this side. But he a part of the Illuminati too. You see what I'm saying? But Suge just not like P. Diddy, you know what I'm saying? You know, fucking niggas in the booty and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Telling nigga, give me some head, young man. You know what I'm talking about? No, he on some gangster shit like he had started niggas, you know what I'm saying? Bad, if you gay, he finna make you smash another nigga and record this shit so he can have dirt on you. Know what I'm talking about? So, this why Tupac said this at the end of this video.
What fucked me up, what turned me like this, is I was like, no politicians is even getting at us. And you know, I represent 5 million fucking sales, and no politicians is even checking for it. They're not even sending us nothing to try to make us. They're not even thinking of it. And in business, you know, if you want to fuck with somebody, you know, you try to, they're not even looking at us like that. That means we ain't a threat. Right. But by the next election, I promise, I'm going to be sitting across from all the candidates. I bet you. You know how
that man said we will have our what?
It's gonna be for black people, it's gonna be for Armenians. I don't give a fuck. All you lost tribe motherfuckers right now, we need to have our own political party because we all have the same motherfucker.
See? We black folks don't even got our own political party. But guess who playing? The political people, Donald Trump, the elite, the United States government, presidents, foreign countries. You see what I'm saying? So if that man was in jail and somebody put him on game, and the person that I could speculate, I just want to speculate on this. Whoever told Tupac about the Illuminati was Illuminati himself and told Tupac, hey, this how things work. If you want to understand what's going on with the higher ups, you got revolutions, because you got to look at the person that told him this. Because you know the FBI already was on his mama and his auntie. And if you look into that history, before Tupac was born, you see what I'm saying? Just imagine just a young man coming up, you a part of the Black Panther. You just ain't really part of the Black Panther, but you around it. And you will see why this why the black people going against the white man. Cause look what the white man trying to do to the black people, but at that time he's seeing it but understand it. Until he actually made it in the music game, in the rap game, and seen the higher up. Cause at that time when we looking at all these people, we didn't know that these people were signing contracts with devil worshippers? Devil worshippers. Freemasonry. Signed a contract because they said, look, we could weaponize music. Because look what the music Tupac was coming out with. Brother Got a Baby. Man, that song will have you feeling turned for a black lady, bro. Let me blow this up on the big screen. We ain't got no political party. The government using us, abusing us, sacrificing us. They doing all of this. Because if you go to this shit right here, I'm finna let Tupac talk about all of this shit right here. Listen to this interview.
Hey guys, this is Joe Kudlow with Fiore, and I'm here today to break down the 3 fits in our best-selling Metapan. The first is our athlete.
Grounds Tupac Shakur some direction, also ended up as a political prisoner, currently serving a life sentence in San Quentin.
What, did she just say a political prisoner? Listen to the word that's coming. Check this out. She gonna know everything about the elites. Watch this. She gonna know everything about the elites. But since Tupac got a word, this just show you how your words is so powerful. You the hottest rapper in the game. They gotta give you an interview. Your words got you in the seats. Cause your fans, you know what I'm saying? Your fans is so big. Your fans is so big, and this is, cause you look.
In prison. His lyrics are controversial, but also a reality of life as he has seen it.
Now,
No
be
hope.
careful with that, man. It's loaded. Look, old man Quillis is not going to draw on somebody that got a gun on him. Worry about it. It's going to be a piece of cake, Q.
Yeah, man, it'll be a piece of cake. We go in right before 11, get the loot, jet.
The whole thing won't take no longer than 3 minutes.
We tried to decide this morning when I wasn't.
So if you look at the leaks, right? Look at the elites. They the one wrote this script. Now look at the propaganda. This is a market strategy to get young black men think it's hard in the ghetto and this the only way out.
There?
Yeah, while you was at your appointment.
Oh yes, please welcome a very streetwise young man who wants to make a difference for all black people. How are you? Tupac Shakur, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
She gave that man credit. This is a young black man that want to make a difference about black people. I ain't never heard a reporter or interviewer that said it gave a black man a title like that. Man, this man trying to save his people. He see how the camera, when the camera's cut on and all this studio and shit, he want to tell the people, bruh, look, y'all, this some serious shit. This shit so serious. Let me tell you about it.
Boy, you know, I've got to tell you, I've heard about your story, have listened to many of the accounts of what happened to you as a young man, and looking at the movie Juice, you know, which is a powerful story, but Juice seems like a Sunday school picnic after hearing about your life, to tell you the truth,
Yes,
brother.
Lord.
It really does. In retrospect, how would you say that your life has been? What would you say about your life? How would you define it?
I would say it's been like a test on my faith. You know what I'm saying? You know how, I guess it's
That man said, what? Y'all heard the question? Listen to the answer.
like a test on my faith. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's been like a test on my faith. You know what I'm saying?
On his faith. Then listen to the question.
Juice seems like a Sunday school picnic after hearing about your life, to tell you the truth,
Yes,
brother.
Lord.
It really does. In retrospect, how would you say that your life has been? What would you say about your life? How would you define it?
I would say it's been like a test on my faith. You know what I'm saying? You know how, I guess his name was Job in the Bible, who God just did all of this crazy stuff to.
Now y'all listen to this story about Job. How Tupac explained it.
Just to make sure his faith was straight. And that's how it was. It made me, if I didn't have all of this stuff, I don't think that my feet would have been so firm to where I could stand up for anything, you know, and I would be less ready to deal with what's out there.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what happened to you when you were growing up.
With that being said, he didn't have to sacrifice nobody. But when it came to Miss Teresa and shit, you know what I'm saying? Job, the passage, the name came up Job name, right? In the book of Job, right? The passage came up and the verse. Guess what? Kenneka died. And look at the mammy now. And if it wasn't a sacrifice, why the best friend? Hold up, let me do it like this here. Why is the best friend the best friend? Best friend died. How all of a sudden everybody actually knew who the best friend was? But in the beginning, Monique supposed to been the best friend. But when she died, look how much clout that she got. And look, and she a celebrity hairstylist. Let's stop it. I was reading in the chat, somebody said, man, you ran out of Kenneka Jenkins content. Now you got to switch your content up. Nah, I ain't got. Look, check this out. I swear I ain't ran out no Kenneka Jenkins content. Matter of fact, I'll go live tomorrow and give you some fat content about 1 o'clock. Yeah. Round 1 o'clock. You see what I'm saying? So now look, check this out. Look how the best friend get all of this. Why they didn't blast her in the beginning as the best friend? And this the best friend right here, walking on the footage, covering up her face. Man, I'm finna change the game with this. Cause check this out. Then King Rod mentioned Donald Trump. Then Donald Trump came up in the Kenneka Jenkins file in a fucked up ass way. Not let's ask Donald Trump, can we reopen the case? Not only that, guess what Donald Trump got going on at this time? This shit make a lot of sense. Cause now this shit finna go back to the Epstein file. Hi y'all. See it? You kidding me? You kidding me? This shit finna go back. Cause when she died, 2017, September, right? When I tell you about this Tupac shit, back in the 90s, what this finna lead all the way up, be like, damn. She actually died in the hotel. So the hotel theory finna make sense now. Look, the hotel finna make sense, and check this out. All this news, how they reported, cause Miss Teresa said this, sure, that's my daughter on footage. Check this out right here.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses, but I have no idea how to make
game with this shit, bro. Check this out. You really want Trey Gang to snap? I'm finna snap it like this here. Shit, that's the best friend right there, right? This coming from the police source that's affiliated with what? The Royal Order Jesters? The Freemasonry. And you in a hotel, you got a friend, her best friend, right here. This the best friend. Keep this in mind. Miss Teresa said, that's my daughter. Guess what the news reporter asked Miss Teresa? Hey, that's your daughter on the surveillance footage? She was like, yep. And she was like, and Miss Teresa slipped up and said, yeah, the fifth photo showed my daughter in the lobby. Hold on, watch this shit. Hold up. Let me go to Miss Teresa shit. Since you mentioned the Kenneka Jenkins case, when I'm trying to just lighten up a little bit and expose some of this Jeffrey Epstein case, because all my narrative finna make a whole lot of sense. So watch this shit. Teresa goddamn Martin, goddamn it. The interviews. Let's go to the interviews. We want to hear one particular question.
Which shows that she whichever went on, whatever was in her system, she was still strong enough to try to fight it off. She's still trying to look for a way out. How could that, go unknowledged from the security, from the hotel? Some employees that was down there in the area that she was.
Employees down there. She stuttering, telling you even the employee was down there. Check this out. Y'all want to know, watch this. The game so cold. You want to know why Mitchell Reese said, how did my daughter made it outside? Right? Man, I'm finna really goddamn it expose some shit. I'm glad that you mentioned Kenneka Jenkins, cause when you mention her name, my mind snap into J for K mode. I can't help it. There's like one in the chamber. So let's talk about one song. Check this out. Do this make sense? Let me find the particular question on her. Then I'm gonna spill the tea on that.
Seeing that, how could not, no one not notice my child? And then when we came up there looking for my child, why we couldn't get no help from no one?
We don't really have the words, to take away.
Hold on, let me go back to
let
this.
my daughter wander off.
Exactly.
And this is a result of what happened.
Exactly.
Nah, but from the videotapes, it does seem like your daughter was intoxicated. Was she drinking, or was it pills? Do you agree that maybe she was under the influence in some way?
And it's the epileptic medicine too.
Right.
Oh yeah, can you explain that?
Now, see, from my understanding, as me speaking with the doctor.
Let me rewind that part. Now, keep that. I'm glad that they mentioning that, because that's where the best friend come in there, because she got to play drunk on the footage, and it's edited it with Kenneka face on the best friend body to sell us a narrative. This Kenneka right here walking down in the hall. Everybody like, man, I really don't believe that's Kenneka, because that don't look like Kenneka. And guess where Kenneka at the whole time? Why this is going on? Shit, let me spill some tea. But before I spill this tea, I got to rewind it to what she said about the fifth photo.
It's important to be aware of your surroundings and everything else, because you're just speechless, you know what I'm saying?
And not only did me searching for answers for my daughter, I not only thought about my daughter, I was unselfish enough to think about the world.
Everybody should.
Everybody should.
Let me go back to this.
Before every freezer has a release button or some type of handle where you can't get locked in its freezer unless you're getting locked on the outside. You get locked in from the outside.
Which would have taken obviously somebody else to do purposely.
To do it, right.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
What you're saying. There's no way she could lock herself in by herself.
Exactly. So once entering, and I see the freezer. Now the leading detective stated to me, she just walked in the freezer. Mm-hmm. This is in the freezer. She closed the door behind us. He said,
right.
That your daughter was in. Did you try to see what your the theory, how you can get out of it if you're in that particular freezer?
Okay, well, I'll tell you like this. We wasn't never to actually go inside their freezer, but they had both of the doors open. I asked them when I first went, if you could see it on purpose, because I see a camera. It's a camera, forgive me. A glow in the dark button, and the sergeant, you're going to get it on. See, 7 years. She shouldn't.
So, where are you now, and where do you?
A natural cause. Police department it see that if you would have stopped before the accident, why not? And then you
reached out for assistance.
And so Rosemont turned that down, correct? Secondly, why did that ever come up in conversation?
And made the report, the missing person report. The only reason that Crown Plaza Police Department came back up to the hotel, not because of my daughter was missing, not because of the missing person report, was because Lenore forgot to put her signature on the missing person report.
Kick everybody out?
Yes, obviously.
When was the friends that called you, when was their last time that they saw your daughter Kenneka alive? What's their last, and they had her keys at this moment?
They can't find her. So I asked them, could they take their time, just have a little patience at first to see if they can find her. In the background, I hear one of the other friends stating, she tired of waiting, she tired of this, getting a little rowdy. So I asked them to calm down and just bring my car to me.
Because your daughter because they were at the hotel for a party, and your daughter was the driver of the night.
Yes, my daughter was the driver of the night.
And they had her keys at this moment.
They had her keys. And they never mentioned that they had a phone until after I got off the phone with one friend. I called her phone just to hear her other friend state to me that I have a phone too. So I asked them, I said, y'all, wait, hold on. You have my car keys and her cell phone? I knew something wasn't right.
Right. So, after that story, you obviously went to the hotel and began the search for your daughter. And the hotel at first wasn't as cooperative, correct?
No, they wasn't.
Okay.
From when me speaking with their friends, when the hotel, the friends stated to me that they was looking for, because I asked them, to continuously look for it first.
Right.
And she said that they was making them leave. The hotel was,
They were trying to kick him out that
Yes, they
night?
were going to kick him out that night.
And
because
this is like about 4 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, before.
Right.
Yes.
4 o'clock in the morning, knock 2 hours out the footage. You know what 4 o'clock will be showing on the footage. Knock 2 hours off, they go back to Tucson. Watch this shit.
Yeah.
They was going to kick him out if they leave and call the police on them to arrest them.
Now, why were they threatening to do that? Just because they were being too rowdy, making too much noise?
No, because they stated to me that they told them that my daughter was missing. They can't find her.
And they felt like that was reason to kick everybody out?
Yes, obviously.
When was the friends that called you, when was their last time that they saw your daughter Kenneka alive? What's their last reaction and interaction with Kenneka?
Heard that question? Look at this question like this here. When they last saw her daughter alive? Think about balls. Ooh, when you find out the truth, think about ball. And when you think about ball, that's how Kenneka ended up outside. And guess when you see a big crowd coming in like they were searching? Yeah. Do that make sense? And guess what all this will be going on? 1 something going on 2 o'clock. I had my head down too. Hey, you the last one contact on Kenneka phone and say, yeah, I'm ready to go too. Yeah, I would have my head down too. Because when they gave us the footage, we didn't understand what was going on at 1 o'clock. So let's start with 1 something on the footage. So let me play this video, because all I just want her to answer the question when she asks, do you believe that's your daughter that's on the footage? She gonna say yes. But it's a twist to it. It's a twist to it. Guess what the twist was? You seen Kenneka in the lobby. And you see the best friend playing Kenneka on the lower level, walking to a destination where Kenneka finna end up to. And all this going around at what time, Leonora? If it wasn't no sacrifice, No Freemasonic Eastern Star shit going on with the higher leaves that's in the Hollywood. That's why y'all in Bill Mary Kitchen. Since we talking about the Jeffrey Epstein files, you know what I'm saying? Look what was going on in September 2017 before that, and look what the elites were doing. That's why I say that Jeffrey Epstein opened up a whole can of worms with this one. Opened up a whole can of worms with this one. But let me play this video so the troll will understand, be like, God damn it, Trey Gang got it. God damn it. Look, watch this.
Well, they stated to me it was two, because I asked them how long she been missing, and they said it was 2 hours before they called me. I asked them why didn't they call me before. They said because one of the friends didn't want me to know that my daughter was missing. The one that left my house with Kenneka.
Right. Now, but did they say how she broke from the group? Like, how did she break away from the group?
Right.
Okay, it was like two different stories. First, that day,
Kenneka was never in the group. If you look at Baw's situation, now you see why Miss Teresa was protecting her best friend. Go with the theory with the best friend playing Kenneka so you could sell us this, yeah, they saying they lost her and how nobody didn't see her walking around, and now this is why nobody will never see Kenneka walking around no hotel, because she simply left out the lobby meeting up with a nigga. Payal. Can we get it close to 100 likes on this one? Don't let me get started on this tea, because you finna see the whole setup on the footage alone. That's why 54, that finna expose 54 even more. That's why 54 brought up that Baw theory. How was her hair? Her hair changed, right? Now you want to know why Leonora again, why would she had her head down? Because she all on the news report like, yeah, I asked a friend how was her hair when she left out the room. Who was the only person that would be doing Kenneka hair at the time? God damn it, best friend already did Kenneka hair. What? You see what I'm saying? The best friend. But I remember in the beginning, Leonora supposed to be doing her hair. That's the reason why her hair was flat iron straight. But mysteriously on the footage, boy, this tea finna get so hot. I'm so excited. Cause goddamn it, when you mention Kenneka name, goddamn it, cause you like, oh nah, he ain't talking about Kenneka, so he trying to you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what we want. He ain't got no more tea about Kenneka. The shit done dried up. No, the shit got wet. Shit. I might need to rename. No, I'm going to keep it. What I'm about to do here is just play this video and I'm going to stop it when this lady asks her, do you believe that's your daughter on the footage? She said yes. And guess what? She also said, yeah, it's a photo. A fifth photo showing Kenneka in the lobby. Then Andrew Holmes said Kenneka would be in the lobby, but she playing drunk where she sewing her and bumping it, walking through the lobby. Think about the best friend getting on the elevators, playing the drunk role while the real Kenneka in the lobby. And he said this was going on at 320. If this was at 320, guess what he did? Everybody was looking for 320, you get a time skip. But Kenneka just left out of there before the time skip. And that's how she made it in the parking lot. Getting who? Payal. Man, let me calm down. I ran out of some Kenneka tea. Shit. I could show you that whole 36-hour footage and break that bitch down and you be like, whoa, Miss Teresa. That's a chest blow. Watch this. Check this out.
That she came, she came up missing. They stated that they left her in the front lobby, which is on my 911 call.
Okay.
She would never left in the lobby. She met up with a dude in the lobby. You see that? Balls? She met up with a dude in the lobby. She met up with a dude in the lobby. According to ball theory. So if that's Kenneka, don't that show Kenneka making it into the parking lot? Ooh, that's finna explain why everybody was sitting at the back door by the pool area then. Shit, you kidding me? At the pool area, everybody gang up watching this fight? Yeah, I see it now. But watch this.
Because that's what they told me. Then later on today, in the afternoon, headed towards the evening, they stated to me they left her upstairs by the room door. So
they changed where they saw her last.
Yes.
But isn't there a point, if I recall correctly, when they released the videotapes, there was a point where she got out the elevator, but somebody was in the elevator? Am I recalling that wrong?
Those were, I think, the allegations of people saying that they were.
Keep this in mind. Sell us a theory, because they already edited the tapes, got us thinking that's Kenneka, but we know that ain't Kenneka. Kenneka too thick. That's not Kenneka, so they edited the tape, but they know the truth who was on the tape, the best friend. So that's why they could sell it you believe that's Kenneka, all of this old shit. Why this?
An elevator, because there's been so many conspiracy theories when it comes to what happened with your daughter, Kenneka.
So we didn't see anybody in the elevator with her?
No, not in the videos, not that I saw. Did you guys?
So they got us focused on the video that they was doing you ain't got to call no reenacting. They was acting. Because the real Kenneka is in the lobby. In the lobby. And simply walked out that jump with a dude. So they had to have the best friend. This how you know it's a setup. Because they done did the girl hair. Watch this.
I see anything different? No, we didn't see anything with that. No.
Okay.
But again, so many conspiracy theories were being thrown out there. So now, so you're at the hotel, you find her. So when do they actually, from when you get to the hotel, when does the hotel finally find your daughter in the freezer?
Well, once I arrive, they finally found her after the third time of us coming in, me and my family coming up to the hotel begging for help from the hotel, pleading with them, and also Rosemont Police Department.
So it was like hours? Was it 36 hours?
Yes, it was 36 hours.
I have a question about why, if somebody says that their daughter is missing in their hotel, why wouldn't they be willing to help? Did they give you a reason as to, we're not concerned, she'll just show up, she's probably okay, and they just blew it off? Did they have a reason for why they're not willing to help at that point?
Well, they stated to me that, basically it wasn't their concern, the hotel, Crown Plaza, and manager at the time. That's a police matter.
Oh, it was a police matter.
And the police probably say a person has to be missing for 48 hours in order for you to file an official report.
24
hours. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's more than 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
So when did they finally go look through the tapes to realize, okay, she really was at this hotel? So I guess I'm trying to figure out, how did they discover her in the freezer?
Okay, when my daughter went up there.
Your other daughter?
Yes, my other daughter, Lenore. Okay. When she went up to the hotel, when I came, after me returning back home, she headed out the door as I was coming in, her and two of her friends. And when they got up to the hotel, they asked, the person at the front desk if they can look on the cameras and see once again, if they see, if Kenneka was there.
Right.
And they stated to her also as well that it was a police matter. So she calls 911 as well, and the police suggested that and told her that he couldn't leave and come up to the hotel to meet her, she would have to come down to the police station. Once she came, got to the police station and made the report, the missing person report, the only reason that Crown Plaza Police Department came back up to the hotel, not because of my daughter was missing, not because of the missing person report, was because Lenore forgot to put her signature on the missing person report paper.
Right.
So
this is the Rosemont Police.
Yes,
correct?
the Rosemont Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
So once he got there, and he had called and asked her where was she. She stated that she's back up at the hotel. She's telling the person at the front desk at the hotel that now she has a missing person report number. She stated, could they look at the cameras, and they still denied her, to see if her sister was missing. She asked the Rosemont police officer, if he can give her a copy of the police report. He stated to her it'll take all day, he can't give her a copy, so she asked him could she have the number to the missing person report. So upon his arrival, Lenore asked him, could you please look at the cameras, the security cameras, to see if they see Kenneka. Right. And he finally agreed he would. He went into the security office, from my understanding.
And this is the officer that we're talking about right now?
Yes, the officer that made out the missing person report.
Okay.
Lenore stated to me that he went in there like 5 minutes, came back out, and stated that on the first missing person report, that he searched front and back, and he did not see Kenneka entering or exiting the building.
So that means she wasn't there, according to them?
According to them, she wasn't there.
Okay. So who found Kenneka in the freezer? And did they find her just by accident, or did they find her because they were looking at the videos?
Okay, well, when we was there, the Rosemont Police Department stated that they're the ones that found Kenneka. But with me looking at the news and reading in the paid newspapers, an employee found her. So that's a good question. I really wouldn't.
So you don't know who?
You're not for sure.
I'm not for sure.
Right.
But you actually, they brought you to see Kenneka while she was in the freezer.
After being denied at first, because I asked them, and I went online on Facebook because I needed help. I was looking for help, and I started timing myself basically to let them know, just in case if something like this come up, they couldn't say that I wasn't, conscious enough. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like I was out of my mind or whatever. Right. And I stated, because I had made a post on Facebook before that, when I was in the search of Kenneka, that I needed help. If somebody see my daughter, to inform me, and
won't you think that if nobody never saw Kenneka roam the halls? Think about Ball. Kenneka would leave out the lobby, right? With a dude like P said. She left with a dude. That's what you see on the footage. She left with a dude. And got the best friend playing the role. Huh? So why would nobody would never see Kenneka roaming the halls then? Cause she went in the parking lot. So when the best friend doing this acting of Kenneka supposed to be selling us that, you look at her, she bumping in the walls, it's on footage, we got the video. And Miss Teresa knew it the whole time. This the killing part about it. So once you listen to the question that's finna pop up, do you believe that's your daughter on the footage? You will see why Gina McGill fired Miss Teresa ass up. Fired Miss Teresa ass up and came with the macho letter. Look, y'all remember that macho letter? I can make that so real right now. Yeah, they said I ran out of Kenneka Jenkins content, right? Ooh, you got me mad at this. Cause I clearly told everybody, like, look, y'all do a little research, right? Just do a little, go back, watch that footage. This only thing you gotta watch the footage. I showed you the Maitland Man, I showed you the style movement, I broke the timestamp down, and I'm like, look at the time. Everybody caught on to it, right? Everybody caught on to it. The worst thing you want me to do is show it to the world in direct order. Cause it finna make sense. It's gonna make sense, bro. Ain't no more conspiracy theory. Cause you could type in the Kenneka Jenkins case. Watch this. Once I get through spilling tea, once you type in the Kenneka Jenkins case, check this out. I'm finna show you the propaganda, right? This just Kenneka alone in the algorithm. In the algorithm alone. 6 days ago, 19,000 views. The mysterious death of Kenneka Jenkins. Then I told everybody, you can go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia finna tell you everything what this person said, and they're gonna read it from the script. Oh, she was last seen by her friends, and somehow she got lost. And do you believe it was an accident or a murder? This 5 months ago. Keep that narrative going. They telling me, shut up, Trey Gang. Shut up. Nobody don't want to hear about the Kenneka Jenkins case no more. I can't tell. There's so many people still in tune. You see what I'm saying? But give it them, listen to this narrative. All this shit gonna sound the same. 44,000 views, all this true or false. Let's explore many theories about the Kenneka Jenkins case. Look at this. All this video, they actually showing the best friend. When you look at it, look what they got to go by. The lie. This the best friend. This the best friend. This the best friend with Kenneka face on it. Look how big the titties is. You see what I'm saying? Just look at the propaganda. BET, they got 1 million views on this shit. Keep that propaganda in mind, but when Trey Gang say, hey, watch what the mama said and listen to the ball theory, it makes sense how she made it outside in the parking lot. Then you got people at the back door seeing the fight. Then you got a digital trail on there so you know who was the last contact with Kenneka. Not only that, while all this going on, look at the staff behavior. They letting it ride. They wanted her dead. That's why it was a murder there. You see what I'm saying? It was a murder there. Check this out. If you really look at the footage, the staff member was with them and left out the hotel. How she ended up in the pool? Shit, I could tell you about the pool right now. Make it so bad, turn me up. Y'all remember, check this out, turn me up. Look at it like this here. Y'all remember when I mentioned the pool theory when I got the letter from Friends Cave and Straight Drop was the biggest YouTuber when it comes to Kenneka Jenkins case, try to confront Trey Gang and try to say there's no pool and all of this. But at that time, Trey Gang didn't have all the information about the pool area, but the pool area exposed. It gave us a visual like, damn, the pool. And it looked like this was going on in the pool. And when we go on the footage, we actually see people at the door. Then you think about King Rob, all this. I break that shit down right now. Boy, that shit gonna hit so fucking different about the pool. Cause look, once it hit about the pool, this finna eat Miss Teresa words up. When she made that post, how did my daughter made it out in the parking lot? Everybody no witness to that post. So everybody was like, yeah, where that parking lot footage? But keep this in mind, you saw Kenneka left with a nigga out the lobby and go to the back of the parking lot while everybody got off on the elevator and walked down Food Court Hall. Fuck you talking about? You think some Kenneka tea, goddamn it, dried up? Shit. Cause I told everybody, I said, man, you can talk about this shit for life. Man, them trolls ain't finna do nothing but hype you up. Yeah, hype me up. You know, T Flipper. Shout out to T Flipper. Hype me up. Hype me up. I'm over here doing a little dance and shit over here. Cause shit. Then I'm finna jump back on that Jeffrey Epstein case. Then when I get through exposing this witch on her, cause all we want to hear, when that reporter asks her, hey, keep this in mind of the reporter that asks her these questions. Look how she rides into fame after this interview. That's another subject. But we just want to hear Miss Reese out of her own mouth. Do you believe that's your daughter on the footage? Yes. Even they showed me a photo of Kenneka in the lobby. Oh yeah, that's Kenneka in the lobby? Yes. Fuck you talking about? Let me play this video.
I mean, after I made this live video, I re-entered the hotel, and I asked him, how was she laying? The head detective, how was she laying? He stated she was laying on her side, and I said, was she laying? How was her legs? Was they curved? Curved? Like in a fetal position? Yes. He said no, they were straight. I said okay. Next question: can I see my daughter? How she died? How she laid in the freezer? As I wanted to see her. He said the detective stated yes. An hour or two went past, give or take. The sergeant come in with a very rude attitude. No, you cannot see her. It's against our procedures, our policy. You can't see her. So I asked him, with the card that the leading detective gave me, is it possible that he can put write his name on the back of the card? He stated yes. After he stated yes, I said, and as well as your badge number. And I hear him whisper to the detective, badge number. So then he said, as everybody getting ready to round up to go, he said, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna speak with the coroners and see what they can do. So here we go, hours later. 5 hours, maybe a little bit more, but rounding it off, 5 hours later, they come to me and states, only I could come see her. Me, I'm allowed, and I could bring one more other person with me. That's when they allowed me. They walked us back there. They said, wait, this is a crime scene. You are not allowed to take any photos. You can't touch, and don't touch anything. And they watched us as if we was there. Like we was involved in it. It seemed like the crime scene was on us, not what went on with my daughter.
Right.
Now y'all see the reaction to that? The crime scene was on us and not with our daughter. Look how she look. Keep this in mind. We know how Kenneka made it in that parking lot. And we know you got family and friends at the back door witnessing the fight. If you look at it, everybody like FBI analysts, right? FBI always like, yeah, we got people that can read body language and all this old shit. I learned a lot from looking at these documentaries and the FBI doing documentaries. This how you spot a lie. And look at the body language and when you know what I'm saying? Then I seen the move and negotiator. So I said, let me put these skills to test. You see those eyes? No soul in them. The eyes looking on the inside is a vision what she saw when Kenneka was in the parking lot. Cause guess what? She was in the lobby first before Kenneka showed up. Ooh wee. The sister in the lobby before Kenneka showed up. Cause guess who she left with? A girl and a guy. Once you go to the footage and be like, damn, Trey Gang one line when he said knock 2 hours off the footage. So let me go to the phone reports, because if this was going on at this time, now I see why the news reporter said, did you have last contact with your sister? The bitch denied it. Shit. She denied it. As a FBI wannabe, Trey Gang, you know what I'm talking about, with FBI intentions, because I learned a lot from them and I see how this shit work when it comes to the elites and the power and shit. See no souls in the eyes, and when you looking at a motherfucker asking questions, they gonna daydream about what happened in that parking lot. So since we ain't got the footage of the parking lot, just believing this in this big ass forehead, you see the hump in that motherfucker? It's probably where the other 36 hours there. In that big ass hump in the head, you know what I'm talking about? Don't make me get to talking shit. Talking about some goddamn Kenneka Jenkins tea done dried up. Shit, I'm finna wake the public up. It's gonna take a minute. You know, it's gonna take a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a minute to wake the public up with this. I can go viral 10, cause I done went viral that 3-4 times with this shit. And the shit that I went viral on, once I get to spilling this tea on this, go back to the video that Trey Gang made millions of views on. And guess what narrative I was saying at that time? And at that time, I had the time right, but I did knock 2 hours off of it. Shit. That's the cold part about it. I didn't even knock 2 hours off the footage. Cause if I would have known when I got the letter to knock 2 hours off the footage and re-watch that footage again, shit. Bruh. I told everybody I'm not no YouTuber creator content, so I'm not here to be let me see what the public like, what type of things they interest so I can make content about that. I'm not that type of dude, bruh. I'm just peeping game and I'm like, wait a minute. This how this shit work? I've been doing research on this shit. And this shit actually true? I'm like, whoa. I see how the public up on the voodoo when it comes to the FBI, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the CIA, conspiracy theory. When it comes to murder, check this out. All those viral murders, you can solve them motherfuckers in the first 48. But a cover up, what? Cover up for the first 48. So next time, you know, you got conspiracy mode. I know how this shit work now. Yeah, I know how this shit work. Not only I got some Kenneka Jenkins content, boy, this Jeffrey Epstein finna get out of hand. Cause guess what? Guess who was big? Guess who was the president at that time? At that time, guess who was up on the investigation? Jeffrey Epstein. But why I'm mentioning Jeffrey Epstein when it comes to the Kenneka Jenkins case? Cause you see elites on the footage. That's why Jenny McGill said, yeah, you know, look who on the footage. You got these high ups on her. Talking about what happened to the drunk chick. I know who the drunk chick was. Shit. What happened to the drunk chick? Look, I thought the drunk chick, what they were talking about, it was Kenneka Jenkins. So look, if you see Kenneka Jenkins in the lobby, she ain't been drinking. Keep this in mind, Kenneka don't drink or pop pill like family said. So when Kenneka walked in that lobby, balls, let's get 54 keys out here. Yeah, 54, bring your ass to Trey Gang and explain this shit. Cause we just want to know, yeah, since you mentioned ball, that's your content, right? So now you got to explain this shit now if the truth come out. So let the truth come out. So boom, everybody know who did to her. So that's why she called her balls to get involved the stylist of the best friend. So now check this out. This how Kenneka wasn't doing no drugs or drinking no Hennessy because she in the lobby, she ain't bumping into no walls. She walking straight forward to a dude. You see what I'm saying? Straight forward to a dude and they lead together. This at one song. When she text messaging her sister, at one song. So when you see the best friend playing drunk, now you see why Mr. Richard got to keep that narrative. Be like, yeah, I don't really believe she was just that messed up, but I know she needed help, and 1 cup is too much for her. So when she mentioned 1 cup was too much for her, they just needed a video show Kenneka at a party drinking a substance that we don't know what she drink. That could have been no liquor at all. That could have
so
been.
You see your daughter.
That could have been something else. That could have been a juicy juice or apple juice or a club soda. It could have been anything. But since they gave us the video, I'd be like, look, she was drinking. And this how the drugs got in her system. So that means they had to fabricate that she was drugged. She was drugged up in the room and so impaired that she was drugged up in the room and wandered off when everybody was leaving and all this old shit. And she was left in the lobby, but the lobby for the show, Kenneka was very aware of what's going on and meeting up with the dude. You know what I'm saying? And meeting up with a dude and leaving and going to the parking lot. So that's why she was like, tell me how Kenneka made it outside. And throwing everybody in the loop like, yeah, tell us the video, but you actually seen her go outside and who she left with. But keep the best friend narrative going, showing her on the lower level, walking in the lower level. That means Kenneka never walked in the kitchen. Hi, y'all. She never walked in the kitchen and she was never on the lower level. She never walked in the kitchen. She never walked in the lower level. She was placed in the kitchen because what happened in the parking lot. Hi, y'all. You want some old tea, goddamn? You said the Kenneka Jenkins tea done dried up? Shit. Let me keep playing this shit.
In the freezer now to bring up to date.
No, I'm sorry. No, at this time, they had removed her from the freezer. I asked them. Yes. They removed her from the freezer. When they removed her from the freezer, by the time we came 5 hours or plus later, later, rounding it off.
Why she keeping it up with the time frame? You want to know the real truth? Why she like, yeah, round it out like about 5 hours? Because she know the footage going to be y'all, and you got to round off the footage to keep the lag going instead of showing the real footage. Check this out. Keep rolling, bitch.
Kenneka was laying on a stretcher in a white body bag already.
So you never saw her?
I never saw her. I never saw her. They stated as well that there was no signs of foul play.
Right.
Like it was just a normal look. You know.
That's what they said.
No signs of sexual harassment or anything.
Right.
That's why when you see Kenneka body in the freezer, that's why all that dirt that was from her clothes, they let you know she was fighting in the parking lot, in the flower bed, where the family member would be at. That's where the dirt would come from, on the clothes. And the girl was wet. That means the girl was fighting in a flower bed. That's how the shoes would get dirty. Hold up. Not only the Jordans, look at the Jordan shoes was placed in the freezer because Kenneka gonna have Timberland boots on. So that means when you go to Leonora, how did those shoes get in the freezer? Brand new. Hi, y'all. Boy, you said the Kenneka Jenkins tea done dried up. It's all in the crime scene. So I'm like, oh, that's why the shoe looked like the way the shoe looked like in the freezer. Oh, so they had to plant the dirt on the shoe. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. That's a gun smoke. Man, let me shoot that pistol right quick, cause we just want to hear. Thumb me up right now. Right now, if we want to hear Miss Teresa say that's her daughter on the footage and Rosemont showed her images of Kenneka in the lobby. It's on the 5th photo. If she admitted that, you know how Kenneka made it in the parking lot. And once it go back to Miss Teresa gonna shoot game to the public. How did my daughter made it outside? So when she said how my daughter made it outside, remember when she asked the police, can you not show those videos? And the police were like, well, since the public involved, you know what I'm saying, it's public information. She didn't want that video because they'll show her how she got outside. And you got family and friends at the pool area watching the assault go down. And the best friend is walking on the lower level at the same time, trying trying to make it look like we gotta show it. We're gonna place it in the freezer. I got to play this role, go towards the freezer. You see what I'm saying? Shit. And you can play this whole video. Thumb me up right now. And if you want to hear it come out the horse's mouth of Miss Teresa, and when she say it, I'm going to go to that footage and show it to you.
So do you believe differently?
From seeing the pictures, yes, I believe different.
Because the pictures came out. Before that, though, the video came out. So when we saw the video of her trying to find her way throughout the hotel, what did you think about the videos?
That she was wandering in the hotel. She needed help. And, you know, she had a hotel, a 5-star.
You see how Living North looking at her? That's why Living North looking at her the way they know that's the best friend. That's the only way they can sell the story if the best friend play Kenneka bumping in the walls on the lower level. They give Miss Teresa authority to keep the conspiracy thorn and say that she needed help. But we all see Kenneka walked out the fucking lobby with a dude. Fuck you talking about this Kenneka Jenkins case since I'm talking about the Jeffrey. I was waiting on a motherfucker. Oh yeah. I guess his views getting low. I guess he with about the money. Man, I ain't about no goddamn money or no fucking views. I'm like, I told everybody, I'm like, man, look, y'all, do your research. Do your own fucking research. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about something else and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and boom, and what do you know? Like because if that's the case, I'm like, well, shit, I could just talk about Kenneka, you know what I'm saying, every day and get some views. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the case, bruh. I'm already shadow banned. You see what I'm already shadow banned for talking about this shit. You see what I'm saying? But I need that support because they're gonna break through the barricade. Be like, damn, that T so high, they breaking through the barricade. And shit, don't share this shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause that finna expose all the other YouTubers when you type in Kenneka Jenkins. When you type in Kenneka Jenkins, you can see the propaganda right now. And just look at all the reasons. Check this out. If I show you all they channel with their content about Kenneka Jenkins, they're gonna read from the Wikipedia script. Wikipedia script. Boom, look. Thumbnails and everything. They're gonna give you a thumbnail. Boom, boom, boom. So why they say leave this Kenneka Jenkins alone, but they got thumbnails of the best friend in there. Make sure they get Miss Teresa grieving in there, and then give you a thinking emoji. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, is it what? Actually playing dumb. Playing dumb, bro. Acting like you ain't got the mind to solve this shit. Okay, check this out. Watch how Trey Gang finna do this shit then. Since everybody playing with this case, with this girl, keep making the conspiracy theory. You see what I'm saying? If you look at this shit, don't even worry about this video. Don't even... Look, you can go back and watch this video. You're gonna be like, man, Trey Gang, been boom. We can get back to that later. We'll get back to that later, but keep her in mind of this broad that you see. Then boom, look, everybody showing the best friend, the best friend, the best friend, the best friend. Kenneka in the freezer, best friend on the video. Kenneka in the freezer, the best friend on the video. Don't let me get to exposing this wench. So watch this.
Hotel, right. I know it was surveillance. Just like on each floor, they might not have cameras all through the hotel, but entering and exiting the elevator, there are cameras.
But it is her on the camera because, like I said, so many conspiracy theories. Some people said that's not even her on the video. You do believe it was your daughter on the video?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe they're saying that in one part of the video when she's walking towards the refrigerator, that's her last time being shown on videotape? So do you believe she could have just literally walked in there and got locked into the freezer, and what they're saying to be true is she got locked into the freezer and she died because of the coldness? Do you think that could be true?
Well, see, we wouldn't even be sitting here today to guess it. It was the camera. As we went in there, if you could look at the video, me and my daughter, which is some of the parts what we did. As we went in there, I'm looking at my daughter, you know, and I looked in her face. She had a disgusted look on her face. That's an angry look, like, or somebody
dead in the freezer. At what time? Ooh wee. She admitted that's her daughter on the video, but we finna keep the video around. So now you finna see why. Oh, that's why she kept saying about the third time and all this. She trying to cover up for what happened at one something in the parking lot, and that's how she ended up in the freezer, and the best friend on the lower level walking and playing that role while the assault was going on. Cause you know Kenneka ain't walking to no motherfucking freezer, ain't dumb enough to go. She's smart to know a setup, and guess what? That's why she bro. She trying to mess it. There you go, goddess. Pie y'all. So now y'all see between the lines. Now you see, oh, that's why that lady stuttered. This is why she got these big ass juju spirit bees. These juju ass spirit bees. Like they finna get her, yeah, protect me from the real spiritual war, Kenneka warriors. And they protecting the best friend. Since they protecting the best friend, that's why you got the best friend. Got more praises than Kenneka. How? The best friend. Why they didn't say this in the beginning about the best friend? Keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Best friend. I thought everybody would believe this. Just told you the public thought Monifa was best friend, but the real people that's around know who the real best friend was, and these motherfuckers did content. Hold on, Kenneka Jenkins' friend died falling out the boat, but was she pushed? Look at all Zillionaire, stop it. Now you know why I'm trying to show y'all about Tupac. When he said this.
Your parents were in the Black Panther Party. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like their job.
Yeah, it was my mother was in the Black Panther Party. She was like at a high position, which was like unheard of because, of course, there was sexism, even in the Panthers. Mm-hmm. So, and my stepfather at the time, Matul Shakur, he was also like a well-known like revolutionary, true. All of my roots to the struggle are real deep. Mm-hmm. And then my godfather, Geronimo Pratt, you know, he was like, had a top official rank position with the Panthers on the West Coast.
Right, and we just mentioned he's, of course, serving a life sentence right now.
On the West Coast. On the West Coast. Hold up. Watch this shit, bro. This shit is so crazy. I was trying to expose the Jeffrey Epstein case, and I'm glad the troll come in and let everybody know that y'all see. That's why he ain't talking about the Kenneka Jenkins case, because he ain't got nothing to talk about. So yeah, he want to talk about some Jeffrey Epstein file. Okay. Look.
Agitating her, you know, this type of look. So I'm looking. And then I asked them.
You asked them.
I said, can I see the freezer? Because I work in the cafeteria. So you can't tell me that she walked in this freezer and couldn't get out, you know?
Yeah, because you know that part, because on the video show her leaving in the parking lot. Left out the lobby and leaving in the parking lot. The best friend had to play to walk towards the freezer on the lower level. Then they got her on the upper kitchen walking towards the freezer. To just to say that story so mixed reason could spin it on the narrative just to say how she get in the freezer. It was a camera above the freezer. They covering it up, y'all. Where's the real tapes? Remember that old shit? Remember that shit, right? Let's see The fifth photo.
Because of our freezers, and not only that, me working within the CPS, you know, cafeterias. You know, before every freezer has a release button or some type of handle, whereas you can't get locked in this freezer unless you're been locked on the outside. You know, you get locked in from the outside.
Which would have taken, obviously, somebody else to do purposely.
Right.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
what you're saying.
Yes.
There's no way she could lock herself in by herself.
Exactly. So once entering, and I see the freezer. Now the leading detective stated to me, she just walked in the freezer. This is before I told him I worked within the cafeteria.
Right.
She walked in the freezer, and when she walked in the freezer, she walked in. He never mentioned it was a double freezer. Walked in the freezer, closed the door behind herself, and just froze to death.
Right.
That's what the elites want to go with because of the act of the best friend. And Mitch Teresa know, man, look, the public not going to go for that. So if you look at Mitch Teresa mindset, they ain't going to go for that. That's going to put me in trouble. Because if anybody find out the truth that the best friend was playing Kenneka on the footage and we actually saw how Kenneka made it in the parking lot, by me going along with your narrative going to put me in danger. Not with the elite, but with the public. Because you finna see all, look, bro. Now you see why Mitch Teresa was like up in pressure on Rosemont. Since they know they cover up for how she made it in the parking lot, do it make sense when Mitch Teresa would say, how did my daughter make it in the parking lot? Why would you even say how she made it in the parking lot, but the footage would show her walking to a freezer? With allegedly walking to a freezer, so it wouldn't make. So they try to make it look like she went in the freezer, made it out the freezer somehow, made it in the parking lot, and boom, beat her up and bring her back in the hotel like friends came said to me. Shit, that ain't the case. Shit, that ain't the case. Man, I'm finna break this shit down. So go. Shit, how many tuned in for this shit? You know what I'm saying? When you say look guilty, look at it like this, the jury. You the jury. When you say look guilty, that's your verdict. Guilty. When the jury make they deliberation and be like, yeah, you heard all the evidence and all of this old shit, you know what I'm talking about? Guilty. Ain't no, when the jury deliberate, they say she look guilty. When the jury deliberate, guilty, all of them guilty. Hi, y'all. Let's keep this shit rolling. Cause we already just heard Mitch Teresa say, yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's my daughter on the footage. Yeah, that's her. She needed some help to sell that narrative, that conspiracy theory with a video of a best friend. Watch this. I want to hear about the lobby of the fifth photo while this shit was going on.
So, you know, I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I said, so she couldn't get out? He said, no, she couldn't get out. Because once you locked in, you locked in.
Right. But he doesn't know what you know about freezers at that time.
Exactly.
Right.
Did you go into the actual freezer that your daughter was in? Did you like try to see what your like the theory, how you can get out of it if you're in that particular freezer?
Okay, well, I'll tell you like this. We wasn't never to actually go inside their freezer, but they had both of the doors open. I asked them when I first went back there, so you're saying it's a double freezer? He said, yes, but on our way back there, if you can see in the video, I'm pointing my finger. I'm looking for cameras. I'm looking for cameras because that's my purpose, because you can't tell me this happened with no camera in around, you know, and every time I point, I see a camera. except when we go by the freezer, that's like blocked off, which it was a camera above that freezer. And okay, we're gonna go back to that. I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Oh, you see how the news reporter had to correct her on it when she get to talking too much? Call these bitches handlers. Oh, you talking too much. Cause this gonna go back to one song. Check this out. When Kenneka left out the lobby at 1:15. Leave out the lobby at 1:15, 1:16, close to 1:20. On the footage, it's gonna show you 3:20. That's how Kenneka made up to the parking lot. So now you see why she's stuttering on this question.
Around, you know, and every time I point, I see a camera. Except when we go by the freezer, that's like blocked off, which it was a camera above that freezer. And okay, we're gonna go back to that. I'm sorry, please forgive me. When I go back to the freezer,
that's when Kenneka would be placed in the freezer, and that's why Kenneka Watch would be saying what time Kenneka Watch said on the wrist. Hi y'all, dropping in the chat. I ain't even gonna tell you what time the Watch said, cause you should already know that. And I can just jump back to the Jeffrey Epstein case. Hi y'all. What time Kenneka Watch said? Dropping in the chat. 3 something. 3 something. So look, when it come to the news station, that's why they got a conspiracy theory and said Kenneka roamed the halls for an hour or two. Remember that conspiracy theory, what the news said? Oh, she was roaming the halls between 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. So that means if Kenneka was missing, like if they said she was missing at 3 something and she was missing and for an hour on the footage and another hour she in the freezer, that's 2 hours. They let you know who took the photos and they caught the timestamp on the watch. And that's why Miss Teresa stuttering, talking about the first, when did you see the body? Miss Teresa, look, that lady asked her, Miss Teresa see the body. She couldn't even get a straight answer because she was like, well, the third time after us being denied, shit. If you look on the footage on September the 10th, what time they showed Miss Teresa the body? At 5 in the morning on the footage, right? On the surveillance footage. If you knock 2 hours out the footage, don't you got your 3 o'clock theory in the chat when they took the time of the photos of Kenneka Watch and Miss Teresa said, I want to see how she was laying in the freezer and had to give her the evidence. Hey y'all, say that Kenneka tea done, that Kenneka Jenkins tea done dried up. Shit, we got timestamps on the watch. Fuck you talking about. When they showed Miss Teresa the body at 5 something in the morning, 2 hours out the footage, go back to 3 o'clock. That's why you got Miss Teresa pointing at the camera, talking about doo-doo cameras work. Yeah, they working, bitch. Here go the watch. Put it in your pocket. And that's why she had the watch on the footage. Fuck you talking about? Talking about this motherfucking tea done dried up. Shit. I try to take it light on you suckers. Now you made me mad. Do that make sense now? If that makes sense right now, thumb me up right now. I'ma give you more tea. The pay y'all the game I already did that. Might got new people in here. I need the new people in this motherfucker. Thumb this shit up. You wanna know some of this shit. Yeah, fuck all this shit, what they got going on. You know, all this old shit. Look, 54 Key, Juneteenth. Look, 54. Come on, 54. Stop it, 54. Look how they working. Look. When it come to Kenneka Jenkins, keep that theory rolling. The public really believe y'all so dumb. And they could give you this shit in your face. That's how they think of you, bruh. You see what I'm saying? And they can throw it in your face. Look, sorry, y'all, best friend. And this a person that was in my comments, in my friend list, in my motherfucking group, begging me, Trey Gang, can I please be a moderator? And that's how I got my 50,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. The best friend was so shook. Think about this. If everybody know this for a fact, Trey Gang, you ain't lying. Zario, I was in the group. I remember all this shit. If you remember all this shit about the best friend, the hairstylist, you can understand this whole video, how she got put in the freezer.
And I'm like, here go a glow-in-the-dark plastic release button, big white glow-in-the-dark. I said, so is this a release button? He said, the detective said, yes. And the sergeant standing back there with us as well. As I said, we were being watched as if we're the criminal, you know. We did this to my daughter, as if we was going to get arrested. So he stated, I asked him with the other freezer, you know, the second front door. I said, is this a release button? Big white button. Maybe, as they say, you couldn't see, but it was lightning in the freezer. And only thing we saw on the floor was a big piece of ice made in a triangle. You know, like, you know, and I'm like, okay. I said, so I that's when I stated, I work in the cafeteria. I've been working there for 7 years. I say, there shouldn't have been no way that she shouldn't have been able to get out these doors. I thought you told me, and I asked the detective, you said that she couldn't get out. How is that when is, you know, release buttons on each one of these doors? And he just shook his head, you know.
He doesn't understand.
So where are you now as far as what it is that you want to see? You know, they've closed the case officially. I know that you guys are not happy about that and you want to continue the investigation. So what do you want to see happen? Where do you see this going from here? Are you trying to get more people to come in and reopen the case? What is it that you want to do? Yes,
I would love for the FBI to come in. The reason why I say that, they stated it was a natural cause before any medical examiner or anything. So the Rosemont Police Department knew this would happen with no professionals. You know, they said it wasn't no sexual harassment or any, you know, assault or whatever.
An assault is sexual.
Right. Exactly. You know, but how is that? From looking at the pictures, obviously you'll see that it was something going on. At least, you know, with that. If you would have just saw it without being a professional doctor or whatever, examiner or whatever, first thought would have been them being professional cops. Hey, it's something had to go on. And then to come to find out, after all that, at the closing meeting, my daughter asked them, did you all take fingerprints? And they said no. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Dust the body, right?
You know what I'm saying? Because I work in the cafeteria once, as I mentioned, and in the cafeteria,
now you know why they don't want to take fingerprints, because look who will be opening up the freezer door. Common sense who will open up the freezer door, and you got the best friend going back there too. Her DNA gonna be back there. Check it out.
Cafeteria, you got to clean up behind yourself.
Yeah.
That's sanitation, you know?
So, question, well, two things. One is because the Rosemont police did actually turn down, because the FBI, didn't the FBI one time make an offer?
That they were reached out for assistance.
And so Rosemont turned that down, correct? They didn't want to have anything to do with the FBI coming in.
Allegedly
on the case. Secondly, was the question ever presented to the people of the hotel, why was this freezer even still in operation if it wasn't being used? Like, because I'm under
the kitchen was supposed to be closed.
I'm under understanding that kitchen was closed and that stuff wasn't even being used. So why even have it on? Because then if she goes in there, she's just inside a room. You know, she's not inside a freezing room. Did anybody ever, did that ever come up in conversations with the hotel?
No, they never, I never found out about this freezer wasn't working or none of that until after the fact. You know, I'm hearing it from the media or whatever, you know, and my attorney as well, you know, after, you know.
After she's gone.
After she's gone.
Right.
And then at the meeting, the sergeant said they'd had numerous of murders, you know, deaths or whatever, however he named it, don't quote me. He said, but this is the first time we ever had to deal with an attorney. And rolled his eyes at me like, how could you be mad at me when I'm the one who's taking the loss? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, where do you...
Like you was doing something.
Exactly.
Right. If nothing else, people should have been treating you with compassion.
Exactly.
If nothing else.
And with her cell phone, they did ask me twice for her phone. And you know why? I was afraid to go back up there because the next day I asked the detective when he called my phone and when he was asking me about her phone and to come up there, come back to the Rosemont Police Department to come up there, and I was not going by myself because I knew I needed some help.
Right.
Yeah.
The hotel offered to pay for Kenneka's funeral. Did you accept their offer?
Okay. They offered to pay for her funeral.
Yes.
You know why I did not accept? I refused because even though they offered to pay for it, they never once gave me their condolences. Well, of course they probably did after I made initial clues to Facebook and the media. You know, how could you offer to pay? You all don't care. It's not about money. It's not about money. That's why I reached out to the world, right, you know, for help. And I'm still asking for help because something's just not right.
Right. I want to bring up some of the activists. Actually, how I got in contact with you was via Andrew Holmes. He's the one that gave me your number, and we actually talked the night prior to when the videos were released. And I know you were upset with him because what happened with that? Did he have the right to go? Because he was the first person to talk about the videotapes. Did he have that right from you to do that?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, Andrew Holmes just popped up from nowhere. He stated to me, I asked him when he called my phone, who gave you my number? Who is you? He stated that he was somebody because I'm asking for help. Right. So I'm figuring, you know, he coming to help me. And he stated to me that he was from Chicago Police Department. He's a special investigator, and he's going to get me answers. So...
Special investigator?
Yeah, that's what he stated to me.
So you were misled?
Yes, I was misled.
Okay.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. So
do you have any communication with him now or no?
No. No.
Okay.
There's no need.
Right.
I know other activists, I know from Facebook you accused of them raising money without your knowledge all the way for the protest.
Yes.
So what was that situation? Because they were saying that, you know, money's necessary if someone gets arrested and for the buses, and that they explained that to you and you were okay if they got money to take care of those situations.
Listen, let me tell you something. I didn't know my purpose of being out there. I thank God for everybody. Whichever way they did, I asked for help. When you ask for help, you can't direct the help, which way this help going to go. But as far as them collecting money, I never knew about it until I made a status. I wish I would have known. I would have actually wrote down the date. See, like I said, I did timing again, and I went on Facebook to let people know that I did not know. You know, it was when they collected their money, I was not aware of it.
Okay.
2 days later. I don't know how many days. When I found out, the day I found out, they stated to me that they're gonna give me a ledger, and
I just want everybody to know what Miss Teresa's saying out of her mouth. Since Kenneka been exposed as being balls, how she made it in the parking lot. This show you why Miss Teresa stuttering over the questions. She telling you, boom, when I saw the body, at this time, and you calculate Kenneka time on the watch, that exposed Miss Teresa like we all thought. How was her body? Let me see how she was laying. That means Miss Teresa saw that body. At what time, and they had to give her the watch before, bro. And all I just want to just for everybody to soak this up like a sponge in a bottle of water. Soak it up like a sponge, because once you squeeze it and drain all the water out of it, you will see why she admitted that's my daughter on the video, even on the field photo.
Before we leave the protest that day, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, you know, what is this? And they stated to me that it was funds that they had collected because of the protest, you know. And I'm like, oh, okay. They said, what do you want to do? They asked me what I want to do with it. I said, well, if you all collected for the protest, save it, you know. And it was some people got locked up, and they was like, they was like, somebody got locked up. I said, well, go bond it out. Don't y'all have that money? You know, I didn't want to touch it because.
Guess who got locked up at that time? Guess who got locked up at that time? Just imagine who got locked up at that time before September the 13th. Because once you go back to the dates, you'll be like, that's why Zach TV came up and said he had interviews of the employees and the guys, but he ain't gonna release it till October. Not October, but November. 2 months after the death, right? So 2 months after the death, and you heard Mitch Teresa saying this.
If they collected for them, if that's what they was doing, then I'm a firm believer. If this is what you're doing, for whatever reason y'all decide to collect it without my knowledge, finish doing what y'all doing. You know, it's not about money. And like, it was people that got bond out, they had to pay with it out of their own pockets, you know. And I'm like, they have the money. I don't have no money. You know, I'm getting calls saying, where the money at? They told us you had the money. I said, I didn't never touch nobody money.
Okay.
Right, don't put the money.
You didn't even know the money was being
I didn't even
raised to do
I didn't
that.
know. I didn't know. And it's like, you know, as you all, because I'm putting it out there. I'm looking for help, but I'm also focused. And people.
She looking for help, and she also focused. This is what she need help on, cause Balls left out the hotel with a dude. And Ball name is Kenneka Martin. That's why they had to change the last name to Jenkins. Because if you type in Kenneka Martin, you get propaganda. If you type in if you type in Kenneka Jenkins, you get a propaganda. If you type in Kenneka Martin, you get the truth. They said, like, if you type in Kenneka Jenkins, look what you finna get. Type in Kenneka Martin, and look what results you get. Is 2 sides to a book. 2 sides to a book. These motherfuckers keep talking about, man, yeah, Trey Gang, your tea dried up. Man, that tea ain't dried up. Because I told everybody, just do y'all research. We could talk about this shit later on. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about this shit later on. Just study the footage. Cause the cold thing about it, Trey Gang released a lot of footage with no comment, just the footage they gave us. And everybody was like, look how they moving. This don't look like no search. Man, look at this. And coming to find out, when you figured out the 2-hour theory, that's why Miss Teresa, Leonora, struggling with this shit.
It's like they're doing certain things. And I'm not the victim. My daughter was the victim. But don't try to put me a part of that, because I don't believe in using people.
Shit.
And I think that's
use the public, you use millions.
Spoke on it, but I think some of the other activists that are out here, if you've had direct contact with them, or if you haven't, what would be the overall message to them right now? Because I understand where you stand,
Illuminati, look at his hat. The pyramid. Miss Teresa Eastern Star. You got the elites with their own radio station, their own movie. Ain't this proof that showing you this? Look. Come on, man. Like how Tupac died behind this shit, that would be an honor for me to die this way. Cause, bro, anything happen to me, you know, this be proof. Trey Gang was telling the truth, and I'm finna pick up where he left off at. It might take 10 years, a decade, or it might take 5 minutes of this shit. This how the Illuminati work. This why I showed you the Tupac video. That's where he learned it from. The music game. You would never learn this shit on the streets. If your dream want to be a rapper and actually step in that pulpit of these demons, yeah, you got a whole lot to say when you a young man. A young man. Look, the game is so cold. Tupac said, this organization is designed for the young black men to die in their early teens or 20s. This the same video right here when he said this. He said, man, the rap game is designed for everybody to die in their teens going on their 20s. Look how many rappers that died in their 20s. Beefing. Look how many rappers killing other rappers just to get clout. And Tupac been saying this shit in 92. 92. Tupac said, yeah, I don't need no stage name. My name Tupac Shakur. That's what say on my driving license. I don't need no stage name, cause stage name is phony. It's phony. You rapping it. The Tupac said, man, look, the beat hard. He said, this how the music game manipulate the youth. He said nobody ain't listen to the lyrics no more. It's just the beat. The beat so hard. The beat so hard, a nigga rap on the beat full of perk 30 talking about I'ma ride me a nigga, put a nigga in the grave. I'ma tell a motherfucker bitch suck my dick and hate. You know what I'm talking about? The beat hard, but the lyrics garbage. And you want to see why Brenda had a baby? And he went diamond on this shit. Brenda have a baby. So what I'm basically saying is when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein case, this was going on in 1992. Look what Jeffrey Epstein, the presidents, the wars, the drugs, the movies about drug dealers, all of these higher elites, and want you to be, even Tupac admit, in juice. Juice. Don't y'all know everybody loves you? Thumb me up if you love Juice, right? That Tupac played in. I like that movie. You know what I'm talking about? If I was a movie critic, you know what I'm saying, and just in the movie like that, I'd rate Juice as #1 movie. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a cool ass movie. In my mind, what I thought at the time. But at the time, Juice movie was about a best friend killing a best friend. He was the best friend that killed the friend. You see how they had Tupac playing a role like boy, these elites got an agenda out here. And it's working. Like the Wendy Lynch letter. You cannot explain this shit to the young niggas. Cause the young niggas And the young girl, while they talking about YNs, look at the YGs, the young girl, cause they like the YNs. You see what I'm saying? If the YNs is ignorant and dumb out here doing this shit, that's what finna influence. Look at it like this shit. Tupac was saying music influenced the youth. We rapping about this violence and all of this old shit, you know, cause that's where we came from. Violence. People hating each other. It was at the last minute that he figured out, like, this is the reason why black people hated each other, cause guess who taught you hate? White man. Through music. Weaponize music and blow these people up and say, fuck a nigga. I don't want to stand to a broke nigga. You know what I'm saying? And you got females out here want to be gangster rapper like, nigga gotta pay my bills. And you know what I'm saying? All this old shit in the music game. So check this out. They done groomed people that was in the 90s. And once we was in that 90s era, that was my time in the 90s. In the late 80s, early 90s. Boom, boom, boom. You got Too Short talking about, you know what I'm saying? I met this bitch. Remember Too Short? Remember NWA? You remember that era? This before the 90s. Ice-T, fuck the police. Remember NWA when they came out with that gangster rap? But when you go back to the East Coast, you had what's that man named Slick motherfucking Rick? They had that rap. Oh man, that shit hard in the motherfucker. Man, that Slick Rick, la-da-da-da. We like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody where. And then, you know what I'm saying? And you know, not Tupac, but you know, Snoop Dogg took that record, you know, and sampled that and came out with a hit with that. You see what I'm saying? So if you listen to all the rap in the 80s, going on the 90s, because you had breakdancers, you had on the East Coast. If you go on the East Coast, look at the music that was on the East Coast. Listen to the Curtis Blow. Shit. Goddamn Curtis Blow. Look, the Fat Boys. Check this out. If you go back to all those music, them dope boy music, that's dope boy beats. If you go back like, damn, on the East Coast, man, them folk had some real trap beats going on that was ahead of their time. Shit. That's why when they make gangster movies, they got to go back to New York style. Listen to those beats in the New York style. Listen to the lyrics. It wasn't about gunning those niggas. It was about stunning. Getting money. Stunning, getting money with no violence. It was just lyricists. So hold up. Watch this shit. Speaking of the Illuminati that Tupac was trying to explain, look how they still exist and they in the neighborhood with the shit.
What would be the overall message to them? Because sometimes I feel that they can do more harm than help in this situation. Exactly. So what when you sit up, if you had one message that you want to say to them, what would it be?
My message to them is stop taking advantage. And if they haven't took advantage of nobody, then don't do it. Especially when a time of need, when someone is begging and grieving, you know, don't take advantage of them. Do what's right, and stop using God's name in vain. You know, because you could trick a whole lot of people with the word.
Yeah.
And honestly, I never met none of the activists you know, besides Mark, I knew him, you know, from the neighborhood.
Right.
When the truth exposed, we know all the activists was family members and gang members.
Personally, none of the activists. So they coming out and they introducing themselves. Well, of course, you make it seem as if they're here to help you, and all along everybody's out for the same purpose.
Right.
So I'm not going to say everybody, but the ones that fall into that category.
Right.
You know, and it's sad.
It's such a devastating story. So at this moment, and kind of just to piggyback off of what Kyle said, because the photos came out publicly. Was that your first time seeing the photos too?
Well, they showed us 4 of the photos when she was in the freezer, and one of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in the through the lobby.
Ain't this what I was getting at too? Ain't this what Trey Gang was getting at? Let's listen to that question again. Ain't we finna talk about balls? Thumb me up. We talking about balls now. And this, guess what? Watch this.
Because the photos came out publicly. Was that your first time seeing the photos too?
Well, they showed us 4 of the photos when she was in the freezer, and one of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in the through the lobby. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that again. Watch how Livernoir finna look at her and look how Mr. Teresa stuttering over that simple question. Think about 54 keys when it come to balls. That's not Kenneka. We just gonna call this person balls. And that's Kenneka the whole time. So what I'm basically saying is this. Man, y'all, when they ask, is that your daughter on the footage? Yeah, that's her on the footage. When she was walking on the lower level, what you think? I think she needed help. That's going along with the best friend theory when you got the best friend out there playing Kenneka, but you also admitted that where Kenneka gonna be in the 5th photo?
One of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in the through the lobby. You know,
that she was walking through the lobby. Oh, wait a minute. So did she admit? Check this out. Did she admit that Kenneka will be in the lobby? That's all I want to know. Thumb me up with Miss Teresa will admit that she will be in the lobby. Keep this in mind. We got the best friend on the lower level getting off on the elevator while Kenneka in the lobby, right? They said the Kenneka Jenkins tea done dried up. Let's spill it. Let's see how it done dried up. Let's just see what this narrative alone would get the Kenneka Jenkins case popping again, since these sucker made me mad. Hold up. Miss Teresa said this right here.
And one,
it's such a devastating
watch this.
story.
Check this out.
Which is sad.
Keep this in mind. Trey Gang is the one that told everybody, y'all look, it's not Kenneka on the footage. I believe Kenneka is on the footage, but not on the footage they want us to believe. So if you believe there's Kenneka on the lower level, that's the best friend theory. But the photos that would show Kenneka in the lobby, like Miss Teresa said, and want to know, and told everybody, how did my daughter made it outside in the parking lot? I don't understand. What is y'all hiding? This what she would be hiding.
say everybody, but the ones that fall into that category.
Right.
You know, and it's sad.
It's such a devastating story. So at this moment, and kind of just to piggy off of what Kyle said, because the photos came out publicly. Was that your first time seeing the photos too?
Well, they showed us 4 of the photos when she was in the freezer, and one of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in the through the lobby. You know.
Well,
now y'all see what she's stuttering. Cause keep this in mind when they ask her, when did you see the body? When did you see the body? So she admitted there's Kenneka in the lobby, and when they showed us a picture of Kenneka in the freezer, think about 3-some. Think about 1-some. Kenneka went outside with the dude. 2 hours later, she ended up in the freezer because they got to get her out the pool area, and you got the police giving her the watch with the timestamp on it in front of the camera, giving it to Mr. Risa, and Mr. Risa know this is what the world gonna see, so I need to give these people some type of narratives about why I'm pointing out cameras. I pointed out this camera, make sure they camera. I'm asking the police, you see me on camera, asking, do these camera work? But at that time, they giving you the evidence of the watch at 3-something. At 3-something. And Miss Teresa dumbass shared a post on her page with the timestamp on it. With the timestamp on it. So when she said, check this out, you got surveillance footage of Kenneka walking in the lobby. Not the lower level. Not walking towards the freezer. But the conspiracy is that's Kenneka, but that's the best friend the whole time. This show you the sister, the mammy, the brother, and everybody that's gang them in the music industry want to make clout. Guess what Miss Teresa had to go along? Go along with the best friend narrative because they think that's Kenneka. But I'ma admit there is Kenneka in the lobby. In the lobby. Watch this. Look.
When I saw the photos last weekend, I was heartbroken because
she saw the photos last weekend. Check this out. She said she saw these photos last weekend. Look at the dates when she would see these last photos. October last week. That's when they released the file. Think about it like this here. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't even gonna say nothing, bro. Cause I'm finna expose this and go back to the Jeffrey Epstein case.
You know, my mom passed, and I have photos when my mother died, but obviously they're not public. I never want them to be public. And I was like, you know, this story has become so transparent that all these photos and your daughter's last final hours we get to see. And I was just like, that is so, it's sad to me, you know, because at the end of the day, this is a public story and we all need answers, but then you are also a mother and this is your child. And do we really want to have the world see your child at her last moments? You know, like, it's just difficult. So we all feel for you. We all feel for you, because to go through any loss is terrible. To go through it in front of the public eye is unimaginable.
Exactly.
So from the city of Chicago, so you do not agree with the simple story of your daughter walking into the freezer and freezing to death. That is not acceptable to you.
That's not acceptable.
Okay.
The reason why it is not acceptable, because this is a shield for Miss Teresa. Because in the near future, she can use this as, damn, I didn't know they edited this here, and come to find out this the best friend. When the truth come out, she's going to play victim. This just a cover her ass. But let's talk about this photo.
Okay.
Especially when it was cameras that should have showed not only besides the back of her, but the front of her as well.
The back of her and the front of her. So she's setting a security like, look, if anybody figure out this the reason why you don't see the front of her or the back of her, hold up. Keep rolling.
The camera directly over this freezer.
They haven't showed us images of that.
I know at the meeting, the closing of the meeting, I asked the detective and also as well as the sergeant. And the sergeant said aggressively, there wasn't no camera. So I guess the camera disappeared too.
Right. Because all the images.
The camera never disappeared. It's still in view. It's still in view, and I got content on that alone. That's why all this finna eat her ass up.
We've seen her walking through the kitchen, but then she disappears, and we don't see her actually walk into the freezer. But you're saying there was actually definitely a camera there.
It was definitely a camera there.
What about the statement? Because there was a lot of controversy about whether or not Andrew Holmes actually said.
What Andrew Holmes say?
Her walk into the freezer and the door closed behind her. I was one of the people that said, "Yo, I know."
Hold up. Let's go back to this.
I know that at the meeting, the closing of the meeting, I asked the
past, and I have photos when my mother died, but obviously they're not public. I never want them to be public. And I was like, this story has become, it's such a devastating story. So at this moment, and kind of just to pick off what Kyle said, because the photos came out publicly. Was that your first time seeing the photos too?
Well, they showed us 4 of the photos when she was in the freezer, and one of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in through the lobby,
Okay, y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? Watch this.
A picture of her when she's walking in through the lobby, like a picture of her when she's walking in through the lobby,
All right. Let's go to balls.
Now, assuming that was Kenneka that we saw at 320. Come in and talk to Trevante.
At 320, that would be at 120. That go back to the digital cell phone who she last had contact with. Her sister. So when Miss Teresa said they got a picture, no, they got video. How she made it in the lobby. Fuck you talking about Trey Gang ain't spilling no tea. Oh, the Kenneka Jenkins, I'm finna fam up. Fuck you talking about, Jack. Look at this shit.
I want to look at the timeline that Crown Plaza gave us. And I want to start with this right here.
Whoa! Let's start with it right here, boo. 54, you a fool for this one. You should have never been no YouTuber creator content. Cause you started out with a cover up and protecting who? Shit, I told everybody. If I told everybody this, when I say I just want Miss Teresa just to tell everybody that's my daughter on the footage. Look.
They're here to help you, and all along, everybody's out for the same purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say everybody, but the ones that fall into that category,
right?
And it's sad.
It's such a devastating story. So at this moment, and kind of just to pick off what Kyle said, because the photos came out publicly. Was that your first time seeing the photos too?
Well, they showed us 4 of the photos when she was in the freezer, and one.
Because this was one of the weird.
One of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in through the lobby,
Well, when I saw the photos on last weekend, I was like,
all I just want Miss Teresa just admit that there was Kenneka in the lobby. Can we all agree? She just agreed to it. Look. Did she agree to it?
It was like one of the photos, the 5th photo, that was like a picture of her when she's walking in through the lobby,
Well, when I saw the photos on last weekend,
So look, if there was that one, look, check this out. If she agreed that's Kenneka in the lobby, watch this. Check this out. Won't this would be Kenneka in the lobby at 1 something? Meeting up with who? And look who giving you the narrative.
The blue jean outfit, the hair up in the balls, and some boots. Okay? And she in and out. So around 3:20, she leaving out with Trevante.
3:20, 2 hours off, 1:20. Who she last had contact with? Drop it in my chat. Who she had last contact with through the cell phone? Drop it in the chat so we know who on track. Hi y'all. Drop it in the chat. I need everybody to drop their name in the chat. Cause they watching. And if you put the name in the chat and the amount that's in circulation, they're gonna be like, man, they know the truth. Boy, we got to do something about this shit. Drop it in the chat, gang, right now. Cause I'm finna end this live video. Cause I just want to show everybody. Mitchell Reese said this was a photo of Kenneka in the lobby. And this was at 3:20. Do I need to go to Andrew Holmes? Andrew Holmes, watch this shit. Watch this shit. Let's go to Andrew Holmes. I'm gonna keep this video up. I'm gonna go to Andrew Holmes. Since 54 keys, what y'all seeing that Kenneka supposed to be in the lobby at 3 something, according to the footage, right? And remember what Andrew Holmes said. Hold up. Drew Holmes, Kenneka Jenkins, what he said about 3-some. Man, y'all 3-some is 2-some. Check this out. 3-some and 2-some. You see Kenneka in the lobby. Guess what, Andrew Holmes? We got Kenneka in the lobby. So Andrew Holmes told the truth about that. I see her in the lobby. But when he saw her in the lobby, let me do this. Hold on. I gotta go to my download so you can understand this shit. Man, this shit crazy. Boy, this shit finna put Trey Gang really on the map. Cause when I show you this shit, it's all finna make sense. And I'm finna end it right here. Look, hold up, wait a minute. That's why I love what I do. I'm not no YouTuber creator contenter. And I ain't even here for no views and trying to be somebody on the internet. Bro, I'm just a nigga just finding out the truth. Cause I'm treating this shit like this is my child. You know what I'm saying? And these bitches lie to me about my child. Look, ain't this at, check this out. So look, if you look at Andrew Holmes' story, you see what he lied about. We got Kenneka in the lobby at 3:20. But the real truth, she met with a dude and left out the lobby and had the best friend getting off on the elevator round about that same time. Support that theory. And Mitch Reese said, yeah, that's my daughter on the 5th photo that was in the lobby. So since Mitch Reese said that, right, that's Kenneka on the video footage and in the lobby. She fucked up. This supposed to be Kenneka when you telling a lie, cause it's the best friend. This the narrative that you want to go with. You should have never admit that Kenneka was in the lobby, cause we got a problem now. You go back to my live, what I was saying, damn near a couple of years ago, and this when the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like Mitch Reese lawsuit, and I'm like, man, only Mitch Reese could tell us if this is Kenneka or not, cause we have a problem. The Paya gang know when, cause y'all been following me, so this finna ring a bell. And I'm like, man, look, This when I first started claiming Miss Teresa was involved. Cause when I was like, man, look, it sounds like Miss Teresa involved. Only thing Miss Teresa got to do is she got to lie or tell the truth. Is this your daughter? Cause I said I don't believe this Kenneka on this footage. But you agreed that this your daughter on the footage. But I got one question: if this your daughter on the footage, that's all I wanted to know. I didn't get that answer, but you got it the whole time.
The photo that was like a picture of her when she was walking in the through the lobby, you know.
Well, so look, it through the lobby. So you mean to tell me this why Andrew Holmes collaborate? Said Kenneka was in the lobby at 3:20. Right? 3:20 is 1:20. That's what you're gonna tie back evidence to the phone at one some. Look who was in the lobby before Kenneka showed up in the lobby. Her family member. Look what the best friend doing at the same time. Boom. She knows she was finna get murdered. Bam. See that? Laughing. All this shit on the footage while this going on.
And then they want us to believe that about 12, 13 minutes after she left out from the lobby, that Kenneka was walking toward the freezer.
Oh!
Now, when we look at this picture of Kenneka.
So look. So if Kenneka walked out the lobby with a dude, you would see why everybody was at the back
walking
door.
toward that freezer.
And you see why 50. Watch this.
Notice that her hair is back straight. I mean, bone straight. She got back on the Jordans. Now,
So the best friend had the Jordans on. Kenneka had the Timberland boots on. That's why when they showed her walking towards the freezer, that's why they had to store the Jordans in the freezer and dirtied them up and made it look like Kenneka was struggling. That's how she got dirt on the shoe. But she actually had Timberland boots on in the lobby. I'm finna stop seeing they talking about this goddamn Kenneka Jenkins shit done dried up. Shit, they talking about this Kenneka shit done dried up. What? That's why they had to give you all this shit. Look what Kenneka shoes got on. Yeah. And you want to know why they were thrown in the freezer? In the freezer. In the freezer. You want to know, like, damn, look at the shoe, brand new. These shoes is brand new and they dirty. Look where the dirt come from. Matter of fact, look what will be going on there one some. If Miss Teresa admit, that's my daughter in the lobby. And 54 like, look, that's not Kenneka, that's Ball. Cause Miss Teresa fucked up. Cause 54 got to straighten that shit up. Like, we can't let the public know that's really Kenneka, cause that's finna expose how she got in the parking lot. And that's how she got in the parking
based
lot.
off of their time.
And that's how when Zach dropped the interview and P said, I thought she left with a dude. They're still showing you how she got in the parking lot, right? And then when she get in the parking lot, right? Check this out. You got Andrew Holmes saying this shit.
Another door. She came right back out. She was checking doors to see, to me, how she can get back upstairs. So she went down toward this unsecured area that she went. And the camera shows it, and it shows where she went. When she went in, the doors wasn't secure.
They so dumb, they going off with the best friend narrative. Cause you can't sell the story without the best friend playing Kenneka getting off on the elevator to support the theory. But guess what? How she end up in the freezer. Cause if this at 120, look, if this at 120, why in the fuck You got family members at the back door. Back door. Hold on.